Welcome, everyone. This is Tracee Randall with Atlanta Business Spotlight, and I'm so excited about the lady that's sitting next to me. Her name is Reverend Charlene Hicks. Reverend Hicks has just been named the #1 psychic in Alpharetta, and she has a movie coming up on the horizon, so we're going to have some interesting facts today. So welcome to the show today, Charlene.
It's great to be here. It's such an exciting experience.
Well, I'm so glad to have you and very excited to hear about what you're doing, how you got named #1 psychic in Alpharetta, and a little bit more about the movie.
It pays to have reviews on Google. That's how I got it. 4 years in Alpharetta, now I'm #1. Wow. But I've been an astrologer and a psychic medium now for 37 years, and I've traveled extensively throughout the U.S. and Canada. But thanks to Skype, I have business worldwide. I have clients all over the place. But in my work, I've worked for the police department missing murder cases, and I've been to the White House and the Pentagon. I've read for 4 billionaires, and I've worked with Fortune 500 companies. And most people think that if you're an astrologer and psychic, you're like a fortune teller, but I'm not a trained professional. I have 4 degrees in what I do, and most people don't have that. They can't make that claim. I'm a certified professional astrologer in 1980. I'm the youngest person in the state to ever get certified as a professional. You take a 7-hour exam at City Hall to get that degree. And then I trained at Camp Chesterfield for 10 years to get my 4 certifications in mediumship. And been on 295 different radio stations throughout U.S. and Canada. And when you do live radio, you can't flub up. You have to be exact. You have a minute or less to give an answer, and then they cut you off. So if you can't do that, you're not on.
Wow, that is a powerful, most people don't understand what you do. I know it's very confusing and intriguing, and I've met with you in other events and throughout the Alpharetta area. You've got some incredible stories. Would you like to share a specific story, maybe about how you've been able to use what you do to help the police department, or something that you'd like to share?
There's one in particular, and it's with Barry McKinnon. He's up in Nova Scotia. And I'd worked with Barry since 1990 for the first psychic fair they ever had in Sydney, Nova Scotia. And he called me in 1993, and he said there had been a drive-by shooting at McDonald's, and 4 teenagers had been shot in the head for $250. And he wanted to know if I could describe the killer, and if, what could I tell him, about any of it. And I said, well, the 4 teenagers shot in the head, there's one that's still alive, and she's like 19. She has her hair pulled back in a ponytail, it's blonde. And she's still alive. She'll be taken to the hospital, but she'll be in a coma for 3 months. And it was a clean shot through the neck, but it did nerve damage, so she'll be paralyzed and it'll be a paraplegic the rest of her life. But in 3 months, she'll come to and be able to testify who did it. So he called me back, and this was live on the radio up there in Cape Breton's Crown Jewel. And now he's in Antigonish. But he called me back and told me 2 hours later that there was a girl that was still alive that was 19, had blonde hair pulled back in a ponytail. She was rushed to the hospital. She was in a coma for 3 months. She came to, and she was able to testify, and she's been a paraplegic ever since.
Wow. And I understand that you also have a book that's launching. You just are doing it all. Tell us a little bit about your book.
The book I have coming out is called Growing Up Psychic in the South, and it talks about my life as a medium here in the South and the different Bible Belt places I've been sent to, the different radio stations, like how I was on the radio station in Gainesville, Georgia. I thought I'd be on 1 or 2 times. I ended up having my own show for a year, from 88 to 89, doing live calls on the air where people called in from all over. And once they got to know me and they realized I was a nice, normal kind of person, I got invited to the Kiwanis Club, the Rotary Club. I went up speaking every single organization they had there. I wrote for the local newspaper called the Gainesville Gazette, and that pretty much launched my radio career. And since that time, I've been on 295 radio stations.
Wow. And so what's the name of your book again?
It's called Growing Up Psychic in the South.
That sounds interesting. Well, it does. Tell the listening audience how they can connect with you.
Well, you can connect with me on my website on charlenehicks.com, or you can just Google my name and you'll find me on Google. However, you can also call me up at 404-932-1676. My friend Donna Fitzgerald and I host an event on our Psychic Adventures. The second Friday of the month, we have it in Roswell at 1035 Green Street. We do stand-up clairvoyance of the audience. If you'd like to get a message from the other side and learn more about your own mediumship, I highly suggest that you come to those events. It's at 7:30, the second Friday of every month, coming up in Roswell.
Fantastic. Wow, this is Tracee Randall with Atlanta Business Spotlight. So honored to have Reverend Charlene Hicks as my guest today. I'd like to thank TC Productions LLC for making today's video possible. And thanks again for so much. I look forward to your upcoming book.